All right. If we are looking at the beta, this is the beta version, which y'all need to start moving to if you haven't started moving to the beta, because this is where Dotloop is going to be headed next quarter. What we have here is a loop, buyer loop. This is the buyer documents. And inside the documents, when you're looking at it from this perspective, on this right-hand column over here is notes. And if there's notes, you'll see a little tag or a little sticky note over here on the right-hand side. And when we click on that, it will pull up the documents, and there'll be a little button. This is a yellow button with number 1 because it's number 1 note. It says at Tim Bohar test class note. So this right here is a communication to at Tim Bohar from the firm, letting him know that there is a class or an item that needs to be taken care of here. So if you're trying to do this on your phone, it is not going to display like this because this is a different format. So when you get an email notification, what you're looking for is to click on what's the note say. And I wouldn't try and read this screen that I'm showing you on your phone, because your phone is going to have a small little screen, and whatever this note is going to be very small. So if you get a notification from Dotloop that you have some kind of action, my recommendation is you open that email on your computer, on your laptop. I would not open that on your phone. If you want to go look at it on your phone, then open the app in the phone and go to your notes section on the phone. But from a perspective of reading here, I wouldn't try and click the email on your phone, because when you click the email, it's just going to open up the native app on here. So if I wanted to put another note back, or I needed to respond, I would just click on this note and add a reply. Thank you. I have made the adjustment or correction or whatever it might be. And then whoever's the admin, we can mark it as resolved that you all took the action. And then it puts a little checkbox by our note. So this note communication system works best when you're on a laptop, not on your cell phone. So right here would tell us what pages have them. It would also tell us all the notes if we had active unresolved. So it's a very helpful tool for us as admins to communicate with you, because you can see as we marked it resolved, that number 1 has disappeared. So there's no more action here that needs to be done. So I would like to open this for questions at this point, because this is a very question orientated action item. So does anybody have questions on what's going on? Go ahead, Kristen.
How do we switch it over to beta?
Right up in here in the upper right-hand corner should be a little toggle switch that says beta is on, and there's a little blue bar on mine. I'm not sure what color it might be on yours. I think it's just for screen resolution, your screen setup. So if I click that, it will take you back to the traditional level. And if I click here on notes, then I'll have all of my notes that were all part of that communication. But the way these notes work is different than the way the notes work over here. These notes show up over here.
Okay, thank you.
These notes in essence are really specific to the document. Where when I'm back here on this, the notes are all over the place. And there's no real good way to track it. You can go through and hover, but you don't know if there's notes here or not. And I know there's notes because if I come back over here and I look at the exclusive buyer agency, I know there's one note on the beta. I come back over to the beta off, the original, and I hover over this, it says you have no notes. And I know there's a note on this document from being over here on the beta. So this is part of the transition is moving over to this beta so that you can see where these notes are and how they're more in alignment. They kind of help you know where the issue is. Because if I send a note to you all in this old formula, it just sends a note attached to the loop. Whereas when I'm over here and I send a note, it's actually attached not only to the document, but the spot where the note is applicable. Tim, will you sign this? So this is the first thing up here. So if I scroll down, I guess I signed it. So if I come over here to this, well, because it's done now, I can't really do anything. I'm in the Norfolk. I'm not in the Tim folder, so I can't make that go away. So when we go through, if I wanted to add a note and I wanted to say this needed to be checked in, I can put a note right here and say at Tim Vovar, this needs to be filled in. And then I post it, and there's the number right here for 2, right in the spot. That's why I'm saying if you guys look at your loops on your phone and you're trying to fix things, it's not going to be conducive. And I know you're trying to check boxes off, but to me, the best way to do this is to, if you're going to open that email when you're on your computer and not on your phone. Because then you can see exactly where on the document in beta, what's being asked for and what you need. So I think just being a little bit more intentional on opening the notes when the notes come back or you see that email with the note on it, I think that will be more beneficial to most people. Anybody else have other questions?
It's Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, so
Carl, you're breaking up, so I'm getting like every third or fourth word. Carl, you're breaking up. Maybe you could type your question into the chat because I got nothing coming from you other than here. I know it's you.
If you can hear me, I'm on this phone at a home inspection, so I'll just catch up later.
I got you now. Go ahead. Okay, I'll get with him and add whatever his question is for the back end if we can. Other questions? So the number one thing with the communicating in Dotloop is definitely switching over and using this beta version because the beta is going to be the main version here shortly. I've talked Dotloop a couple of times, so this is where it's going to be.